Is SunnyV2 faking videos? I don't think so, right? I mean, he's like clickbaity a bit with some of the videos, but faking them? I mean, we'll see.
Is SunnyV2 faking videos? Fake videos? Uh-oh. Imagine that. A YouTube video that's fake. Has anybody ever done that before? What the fuck?
Is SunnyV2 faking his videos? There has recently been an uptick in YouTube videos exposing SunnyV2, and for many of you, this may come as a surprise due to the seemingly crystal clear image that Sunny has built for himself over the past 2 years. With over 152 uploads amassing a total of 625 million views,
Damn.
it would be the last thing you would expect for such a renowned creator to have allegations of problematic, fake, and unethical behavior. So today we'll be taking a look at some of the videos created about SunnyV2 in order to try and pinpoint the...
I mean, if the guy's an asshole, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
His videos are mainly informational, so his personality is less important. And that's a good and a bad thing.
Yeah,
So
because
I
you're
don't
not
care if he's a
really
dick or not.
watching the video for SunnyV2, to be fair.
Odd. I mean, the videos are good. That's what matters, and they're informational. Here we go.
Problems and controversies that led him to such allegations.
Let's see.
Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be investigating SunnyV2 allegations. To do this, we have to go back to the 23rd of January 2022, when a video would be published titled Why I Don't Like SunnyV2. Throughout the video, YouTuber The Beak would break down his issues with Sunny's content, using several points to establish the perspective that Sunny is a quote hypocrite that lacks self-awareness. Some of the main arguments portrayed in the video were that his audience more focuses on the video editing rather than the informational content at hand, that he is a quote walking contradiction for creating videos joking about commentary channels while simultaneously being one, as well as
that sounds really stupid. As I've said, I think that any time that I hear somebody call somebody else a hypocrite, I automatically assume that person is stupid. Almost every single fucking time. Because of two reasons. Number one, everybody's a hypocrite. Number two, most people that claim this don't understand what a difference between two things even are. Yeah, his points are, he's a walking contradiction. How is this a point? Like, this is a point. His videos are focused more on entertainment over education. And also, I don't really think this is a bad thing. He creates videos on nothing burgers that are already covered. Everybody does this.
Yeah.
But okay.
Creating videos on quote nothing burgers that have already been covered to death. Around the time the video was published, The Beak only had around 34,000 subscribers, whilst on the other hand, Sunny had a staggering 827,000 subscribers that would tower over The Beak. And although there was a controversial response to the video, it seemed like The Beak was able to win most people over, with the video having a positive like to dislike ratio, and comments stating things like, "This video was actually a lot more agreeable than I thought. I think that Sunny's videos are definitely better when they aren't about numbers. One of my favorites that you didn't mention, like his Ryan's World video, was great. And was it about numbers? No." And
I think that one of the weaknesses with Sunny's videos is that in some cases he criticizes content creators for falling off whenever the content creator is actually just prioritizing things in their life that aren't content.
I agree. Yeah.
Some of those videos I don't like that, because I think that's what he did with Ninja's video, and he also did that recently with I forgot whose video it was. I'm trying to remember.
I think it was Dream.
I don't want to criticize somebody and then not think of what the video was. The Dream video, yes, the Dream video. And
wasn't a fan of that.
I do think that it's a narrow view of it, and I think that looking at somebody's existence on the internet as not just a numerical game, but something that they want to gain fulfillment out of on a personal level, I think would help those videos be contextualized better. So if you want criticism of the videos like that, that would be mine.
So yeah, the video is pretty fair, I guess, but the arguments only undermine Sunny regarding things like clickbait or picking topics that he previously thought were dumb. Nothing undermining his actual credibility, his own arguments, the fact he has good research, and like it said in the video, a pretty good style of editing. So there are some issues. And although this video would go on—
I think that the more that people fixate on whether Sunny is a hypocrite or not, or whether he's a you know, like a bad person, or he's like he's in it for the views, like all of these things are like personal attacks. Who gives a fuck? Like I want to see actual, like, what is the, like, inside of the video that you don't like, what are the things that you don't like and why?
to gain an impressive 137,000 views.
I don't care if he's a hypocrite, dude's just a scumbag. Okay,
Why?
well, we'll finish the video because I haven't seen evidence of that yet.
Yeah.
Just 5 months later, on the 12th of June 2022, things would get even worse for Sunny, as he would find himself getting called out, but this time on a much larger scale.
By
In a
Skeppy.
video titled My Response to SunnyV2, 6 million subscriber giant Skeppy would snap back at Sunny's video discussing his downfall. Throughout the video, Skeppy would win over his audience by disproving many of the statements and accusations made by Sunny, as well as providing some more context to genuine actions that he was called out for. With all odds laid against him, Skeppy managed to clear his name of the scam accusations by showing receipts and outright proving some of the facts portrayed in the video about him as false, or as reaching, such as Sunny's point on empty pizza boxes.
Suddenly, people began to question whether or not Skeppy's other videos could have possibly been fake. For example, there was this video in which Skeppy would apparently order 72 pizzas to Bad Boy Halo's house, yet Skeppy wouldn't actually show the entire phone call during which he apparently ordered the 72 pizzas.
Hey, sir, customer service, how can I help you?
Hi, what's the most amount of pizzas I can order? I'm having a party right now.
No, we don't have a limit.
Oh, okay, cool. Alright, have a good night. I ordered it.
Then when the pizzas showed up to Bad Boy Halo's house, he'd only show 3 pizzas being opened. How do we know that he didn't only order 3 pizzas and sit them on top of a stack of empty boxes? Plus,
I think if that's the kind of person that you are, and you think that there's 3 pizzas and all the other boxes are empty, you need to take some time off of YouTube.
Yeah.
Just
Like-
take some time, do something else. Yeah, this is the new Pizzagate, guys.
there are
I mean,
only
does it really
37
matter?
pizzas in this shot. Where are the other 35 pizzas that you claim to order?
But there are people that, like, they will fixate on that. They will. I know it sounds crazy, but they will.
both the title and in the video.
Well, because they
Although
are
Sunny
crazy.
can't be blamed for being skeptical, as that's a big part of his channel, from Skeppy's perspective, he felt as though Sunny was being a quote jerk and trying to turn his own fans against him. The winner of the feud would be a little bit more obvious this time, with Skeppy's video receiving a massive 70,000 likes compared to only 11,000 dislikes, and comments from viewers stating, "Haven't watched
I don't think that's a win or a loss.
Because it's his viewers, right?
I'd have to actually
Mostly?
just look at what was said in the videos. I didn't never watch Skeppy's reaction video or response to it. I have no fucking idea.
a Skeppy video in ages, and I was a pretty old sub. I've got to say, this is probably one of the best response videos I've seen on the internet. And while I probably won't watch many of your videos in the future, because it isn't my cup of tea anymore, you definitely gained my respect. On the 20th of December 2022, a post would be made onto the r/pyrocynical subreddit asking the community for their thoughts on SunnyV2, and in the post was a video linked titled How SunnyV2 Invents a Moral.
There's no evidence that SunnyV2 uses in this video. There's no like data-fueled investigation Sunny's using to demonstrate that these 3 videos did real damage to Quebblecop's career. And in fact, I would argue that the data does not prove out this point really. And it's not like the month that he released these 3 videos changed everything for him, you know, ruined his career. It's kind of just been a slow decline. You know, the month after he lost some views, then he got more, then he got more, and now he's doing work. You know, it's complicated. There's just not like a really tangible, concrete reason to believe this.
With the video receiving 100
I don't agree with that, actually. I thought that his argument that Quebblecop showing off the amount of money that he made was actually a very strong argument. And the
I
reason
agree.
why
Yeah.
is I've seen it happen on Twitch as well. So yeah, I actually think that it was a very strong argument. And there's a lot of cases for streamers who get a lot of money and then they start flaunting that amount of money and it makes them unlikable towards their audience. And I think the reason why it was more effective in Kwebbelkop's case is that his audience was a lot younger, and they don't really have a lot of money or other sense of intrinsic sense of self-worth, that like they
Yeah, it
feel
was like he
good
was
about
flexing on him.
themselves, and they can see somebody that has something really cool and not immediately just be jealous of it.
Yeah,
So I actually thought
makes
that his
sense.
argument that flaunting your wealth and showing off about how much money you're making falls flat on an audience that isn't hype beasts. Like if you're like Jake Paul, Logan Paul, and you have that kind of an audience, it's absolutely like totally good to show off your wealth. They want to see you do that. But whenever you're talking about just like Minecraft content creators where people think they're like, they're like your friend, I think that this happened a lot whenever COVID happened, because like streaming just kind of escalated. RiceGum's another example. David Dobrik is another one too. This feels like reaching? No, I don't think that it is. I remember whenever Soda Pop and like, remember the money's tight thing? People memed on that for a long time, and a lot of people got mad about it. And then if you go to live stream fails, and this is like, that's, like it or not, one of the biggest communities that isn't a single stream, that's just talking about streams, what is one of the things that everybody agrees on? That they hate it whenever streamers talk about money. They hate it whenever streamers talk about, like, oh, I'm just another one like you guys.
Like, personally, I don't care, but at the same time, I don't see it as ever, like, good content to watch.
They don't like it. And I do think that's true on YouTube as well. It's not as true, but it is still true. So yeah, I think there's many examples of this. And I think it's also logical to assume that like somebody can just see a guy in his mom's room making, YouTube videos and think, hey, I relate to this guy. But whenever you find out this guy's making $3 million a year and he drives a Bugatti and he, lives in this massive mansion, the connection that you have with that person is not as strong. I think that's just...
That in general, like in a previous video, they talk about parasocial relationship with streamers. That's really going to gut that out of it.
a fact that you just don't have as much common with them. So yeah, I thought that this argument...
I wonder if that was ever a thing with like
that Sunny
Pokimane.
made about Kwebbelkop was extremely good, and I think that there are a lot of other circumstances.
Like, because it's weird how much hate she gets. But I wonder if that's like one of the reasons. Because I think she it was brought up like she does make a lot of money.
This happening, and I think also looking at things that damage a person's reputation in a non-absolute way, it's kind of like wearing ankle weights, where people do things that make them more unlikable. And like, imagine you're adding 5 pounds to that ankle weight, and at a certain point, all the time they're going to be running slower, but at a certain point they will stop running, and like the decline will be much more dramatic. And I think that's effectively what happened. Does that make sense? Why I think it was a good argument, and some other examples that were similar to it. Hopefully it works.
94% more likes than dislikes, it was evident that the YouTube community agreed with Joel's takes on Sunny's video.
I also think that whenever a content creator reaches a certain level of notoriety, it becomes popular to criticize them, because anybody who's really popular and well-liked, people like seeing. People love a redemption story, and they love a downfall story too. How can you know that's true? Because all of Sunny's fucking videos are about redemption and downfall stories. People fucking love that. And the reason why, and so Sunny becomes one of those people. So now it's popular to take shots at him because he's very well known. Because whenever Sunny was getting, like not really that many views and his channel was a lot smaller, people are universally positive about him. And then once people get big enough, then it becomes more profitable to be negative towards them. It just makes sense.
Yeah. Starting drama, like especially like his react video to Sunny probably like got Skippy like even more views than his average video would. I could be wrong on that, but it would make sense. And I'm not saying he shouldn't have done what he did, because I do agree that some of Sunny's videos, like especially on like downfalls, like say Dreams video for example, I wasn't a big fan of, because it was a lot of just conjecture that honestly didn't really make a lot of sense, at least to me. But at the same time, he's it's his opinion, his video. You know, like it or not. You know, it's up to you. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think whoever like doing videos on drama against Sunny is gonna get you views just because Sunny is a big is pretty famous. Not famous, but his videos have a lot of views basically.
Acceptable.
As
Yeah,
not
there
even
you go.
3 days later, a new video would be published titled Why SunnyV2 is Disliked by Everyone. This video would not be perceived as well as the previous examples.
Because it's fucking, like, what a stupid fucking title. No shit.
Shown. The video consisted
awful.
of many of the same points discussed in the Beaks video, except this time, the creator seemed to be having trouble getting his point across, resulting in the video feeling more like a ramble than a level-headed critique.
Spoiler at nothing, because 157 million views could buy me a car. According to Sunny's ways, apparently he's dying. He's gone from 64 million a month to 37. Ed YouTuber status.
And with comments such as, bro, what are you trying to prove? And the title should be why I hate.
I mean, let's be honest, man. This YouTube video, like, look at the like-dislike ratio. It was like 60 to 100. Like,
Yeah.
7,000 people watched this. Maybe 20,000 people watched it. Oh, wow, 6 likes. Who gives a fuck? Like, this is totally irrelevant, in my opinion. This video and the
SunnyV2.
conversation about
it was
totally
evident that the
fucking
video
irrelevant.
came off to viewers as more of a hate piece rather than a logical and
Yeah, who
constructive
cares?
critique. With over 105 dislikes compared
But
to
how
just
does he fake
66
videos, though?
likes, it's safe to say that this video was perceived extremely poorly.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Big Joel, who we mentioned earlier?
Yeah.
Well, on the 24th of December, he would go on to publish a second video on SunnyV2.
Okay.
This time titled A Genuinely Unhinged SunnyV2 Video.
Great.
And throughout the video, Joel would once again dissect one of Sunny's videos whilst playing devil's advocate for the exposee.
But Ninja fails to realize the reason people perceive him as fake is not because he's toxic, not because he's family friendly. It's because once again he's trying to be something that he's not in order to appeal to an audience instead of just being who he truly is. People liked him most when he was the old toxic ninja.
That's what I'm talking about, dude!
So I guess I'd find this one of the more interesting moments in the video, and a telling one, where SunnyV2 essentially asserts, without any sort of knowledge of Ninja, what his authenticity looks like. Maybe it is true that he used to enjoy screaming on the internet. Who doesn't enjoy it? Who doesn't enjoy it?
Doesn't he still kind of do that?
But the reality is, there's a possibility that it's not inauthentic that he's changing. He's just, like, becoming a different guy, kinda. Like, he's not exactly the same as the person you liked. Does that inherently mean that he has some deep moral failing? Are you the ninja sage? Do you know everything that goes on inside of his mind? You know, what is the standard of evidence that we're using here to assert that this man is bullshitting you because he's done some internal change?
Some moments in
I think that's a bad argument. Yeah, I wanted to let him finish so I could go through everything. But I do think that he is right that there is no actual evidence. And this is a problem with Sunny's videos, and it's a problem with any video talking about how. I will explain. And that's why I was letting him finish, because he clearly, I mean, I think this person has a good way of explaining what they think, but I don't think that they're right about that. And so I'll explain why. So it doesn't necessarily matter. I think that
Before I let Asmon finish, I'm just gonna say maybe agree, because I don't want to say it after and like it just seems like I'm just copying him. But based on like Sunny's thing, I think Sunny explained it worse than he could have, because it's like the perceived thing from his audience. Like if I was an audience of Ninja and he went from, you know, the toxic gamer to someone who's not trying to be that, or someone who's not doing that, it would feel like he's kind of being fake about it. You know what I mean? It'd be like if Valkyrie just started becoming very, very serious. Now, of course, that could happen. You know, she could just, her personality could start changing and stuff like that, but it would feel kind of fake at first, at least from an audience perspective.
focus that he has is that what really is Ninja? And who Ninja truly is not really relevant. What's truly relevant is who his audience thinks he is.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Ninja's audience were people that saw him cursing. They saw him, you know, acting toxic, going crazy, doing this kind of stuff. then whenever he changes, because, I mean, I think it's a little bit disingenuous to say that he just decided to grow as a person at the same time that his channel took off. I mean, come on. Let's call it what it is.
It's weird.
And
yeah.
he even said that now that a lot of kids are watching my stream, now I feel like I should use less profanity. Now, is that actually the way that he feels or not? It's hard really to say. But I think that whenever you change your image and you change the way that you act on camera, whether it's authentic or not, you're going to alienate those original viewers, because those are the people that like the old you. And then whenever they see the new you, which is different, because that's the difference between old and new, well, they're not going to like that. And that's whenever it went from being ninja to crinja. Remember that? That was huge.
Yeah.
And that was because he changed how he acted, and he stopped doing the same things that he used to do. So it doesn't matter like who Ninja is as a person internally, because Ninja is not a person. Tyler Blevins is a person, and Ninja is a character he plays on his stream to an extent. You think he acts like Ninja on camera whenever he's talking to his mother? Fuck no. He acts totally different. So it's not about who he is, it's about who he projects. And I think the projection was seen as inauthentic, because at the time Ninja's stream was growing and blowing up, and he was self-censoring in the eyes of a lot of people. Is that not true? Like, I feel like that's 100% what people thought. Am I crazy?
It'd be weird if that isn't what people thought, because it's just kind of obvious.
It makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. And I want to also keep in mind that I watched this video, and I defended Ninja in like 95% of this video. I just think this guy's argumentation is bad, and I don't think that it really makes a lot of sense. However, I think that whenever, and this is a point that he does have, even though it's something that
doesn't matter.
This is always open for interpretation, is he's saying that Sunny does not have empirical evidence. And he's right. But it's like, how much of this empirical evidence do you need whenever this is a general sentiment? How do you measure general sentiment? It's very hard to do that. So at the end of the day, people are going to watch the video and...
Also, I don't think it would be that good of a video if all he could rely on is things that had, like, empirical evidence. And even then, like, some people would just say if, like, one piece of evidence isn't enough for some people, so, like, how much would he need to for everyone? Like, his videos wouldn't be worth making at that point.
Some people will not, the video will not resonate with them because that's not something they experienced, or that's not something they felt. So yeah, some people got it, some people didn't. Exactly. Ninja went back to being toxic and his community hated it. Well, of course his community hated it. That makes perfect sense, because he attracted a new audience of people not being toxic, and then he changed again. So, like, of course, it makes sense. And also, people would hate it the second time because they know or they believe that it's inauthentic at this point.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? That's why you can never, like, I've always said, never break character. Let me make sure that I read the rest of these, and I can make sure I cover all of this.
Doesn't enjoy it? Who doesn't enjoy it? But the...
Well, but do you see kind of what I'm saying is, like, changing your online character is going to alienate people regardless.
Yep.
But the reality is, there's a possibility that it's not inauthentic that he's changing. He's just, like, becoming a different guy, kind of.
I think that's just such a horrible argument, because Ninja even said explicitly that he was changing the way he was speaking because he knew that there could be kids watching. And wasn't there a time that whenever he was streaming Fortnite that he would use profanity after a certain time at night? I don't remember this. This was like a long time ago, so I don't want to say for sure.
I wasn't a huge big fan of Ninja, so I'm not sure.
I think that's something that happened. Yes.
His
so it's very clear
so.
that, well, what I'm saying is, like, this builds a foundation that Ninja was changing his behavior intentionally because of his new audience.
Yep.
Which, guess what? Alienates the old audience.
It also is fake, and it makes it hard for any, like, future changes. Where does that new
audience come from? His massive rise in success. Everything fits together.
Like, he's not exactly the same as the person you liked. does that inherently mean that he has some deep moral failing? Are you the ninja sage? Do you know every—
No, I agree with that. I agree the idea that streamers have to be completely authentic or it's a moral failing. I think this is very weird, and the people that try to fixate on making a streamer be as real as possible are usually parasocial weirdos that probably should have a restraining order against them. I hate people like that, and these people, and also they always think they're so smart.
Being banned
and
from
they
the
never
internet
are.
would be an easier thing.
everything that
Or
goes on inside of his mind? You know, what
better
is the
than a
standard of evidence
restraining
that we're
order.
using here to assert that this man—
And that is the point that he has that I think is the strongest, but I also think is not very good. Because if you asked like 1,000 people that were on Twitch back then, I think they would probably say what I'm saying. But how do you really measure that? You know, we don't have a study, we don't have a control group. So we're all talking about feels, and it was kind of like
perception.
This is what people, this was the vibe, right? So yeah, it's definitely very much soft science.
is bullshitting you because he's done some internal change.
Some moments in Sunny's videos led the viewers to believe that his point of exposing Ninja's dark side was actually exposing how he stopped making racist remarks, which seems to be a miscommunication on Sunny's end, as you
I don't really think that's true. Because Ninja never really made racist remarks at all. I think Ninja accidentally said the N-word because it was in a song lyric, and then he just apologized for it on Twitter. It's not like Ninja was going around being racist, was he?
I don't remember anything like that, so I doubt it. I think
Like,
that would have been a lot
I don't
bigger.
remember that at all.
also speculated on Ninja's use of drugs, which didn't seem like an impossibility based on the evidence at hand. With there already being several videos critiquing Sunny, a video would be posted that would damage his channel more than any of these previous videos we discussed, and this video would be posted by none other than SunnyV2 himself, as SunnyV2 would publish a video titled "Why Dream's Face Reveal Was an Awful Decision," a video that would cause the YouTube
Not my
commentary
favorite
community
video,
to
Sunny,
eat him
that's for
alive.
sure.
Throughout the video, Sunny would make the argument that Dream's face reveal was a very bad decision made on the premise that his channel was falling off.
Dream's face reveal could qualify as the worst mistake made by a content creator ever, and we're going to outline several reasons.
Well, could is, keep in mind, could is a theoretical word.
Yeah.
So, like,
It's Sunny's
I
opinion.
don't know if this is true. I think Sunny had a relatively good foundation to make this argument. I just think that, I think that this title was bad.
Yeah.
Because why Dream's face reveal was an awful decision, I don't think anybody can... I think you can only make that argument if you only contextualize Dream around his content. And this is what I said whenever I watched Sunny's video about this. Is that even if it was bad for Dream's channel, it still could have been a good decision for Dream. Because Dream isn't just a YouTube channel, he's a person.
Yep.
And being able to interact with his friends in real life, something he'd never been able to do before, really, might mean more to him than...
Or at least on his channel,
you know,
obviously he could do that
20 million extra views a month. So that was my criticism. It wasn't that his argument was bad, it's that it was too narrow.
Why, beginning with possibly the most crucial point, being that Dream's unseen face was one of the only things keeping him relevant.
This video alone would
Which
result...
I think, by the way, is true. 100% I think this is true. Now, it's not one of the only things keeping him relevant, but the intrigue of a faceless person is absolutely is absolutely valuable.
Even what's her...
Yeah, 100%. Like
singer
VTubers,
was
it's the
Sia,
same thing. I
whatever her
think
name
that's a
is?
very decent parallel.
and several commentary channels leaping to Dream's defense.
There are some serious problems with SunnyV2, and it appears that he has become the very thing that he once swore to destroy. Hey guys,
I am not a fan of... I feel like a lot of these SunnyV2 videos, the negative ones about him, these are character assassinations. This is, he's a hypocrite. He became the thing he wanted to destroy.
Yeah, then actually
Let's
going out
get
against
some
the video
actual
itself.
fucking data, please. Let's get an actual argument. Stop it. This doesn't, like, what the fuck does this even mean?
Yep.
I thought we'd just take a look at this new SunnyV2
And
video
people
that
who watch
just
his
dropped
videos don't
called
give a
Why
shit.
Dream's face reveal was
At least
an
I
awful
don't.
decision.
Immediately upon starting this video, you're hit in the face with some of the worst takes you...
I mean, that's not a good argument. Like, why are we using this person as evidence of Sunny having a bad opinion? What is this person saying? Let's listen to exactly what this person is saying, okay? Here we go.
Has become the very thing that he once swore to destroy.
Unsubstantiated movie quote.
Guys, I thought we'd just take a look at this new SunnyV2 video that just dropped called Why Dream's face reveal was an awful decision.
Immediately upon starting this...
Wasn't all... Okay, and SunnyV2 got this wrong. Saying wrong doesn't make somebody wrong. What the what am I taking crazy pills here?
I think it's just a clip
Just
from
dropped called
a
Why
video,
Dream's
so he's
face
not showing the
reveal was
actual
an
argument.
awful decision.
Immediately upon starting this video, you're hit in the face with some of the worst takes you have ever heard. So,
like what?
Someone describing Dream revealing his face as one of the worst mistakes made by a content creator ever.
Part of the reason there have been so many videos...
Okay, Sunny has a video of all of these different points of argumentation, and you respond and say it's a bad take. Am
Yeah,
I
it's like the
crazy? But I think
Twitch
this
chatter.
is a shit argument.
Yeah.
published on this topic
If
recently.
you're going to say it's
and
wrong,
based
say
on the
why
fact
it's
that
wrong.
And this is coming from somebody who was not a fan of that video. I disagreed with the premise of the video because it wasn't contextualized around Dream's entire life. I thought it was too narrow.
Built himself a trustworthy and reliable image, so that when he does get something wrong or has an incredibly controversial take, it becomes a massive deal.
Right.
Many of the videos critiquing Sunny seem to have the same arguments, but commentary channel Achito summarizes the main response well with this statement.
Got it.
I think Sunny is overthinking this entire thing. Like, his face is just public. People now know what he looks like. I think that's really it. What happened after Dream face revealed? He got clowned on for like 24 hours, and that's it. Now his face is just public. Sunny thinks that after Dream has face revealed that now his merch won't really sell.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, do you have anything backing up that? Well, Sunny had some actual, like, video numbers to kind of show, like, what he was talking about. Obviously, I don't, like, completely agree with them, but I do agree that, you know, showing your face probably wasn't the best thing as a content creator in Dream's position. But, like Asmon's saying, like, it could have been, like, to Dream, like, it was a great thing. Like, it could have been probably maybe the best thing that happened to him.
Or something, that he will be irrelevant sooner or later, that his content is going to be...
Wait a second. Okay, let's go back.
Now his face is just public. Sunny thinks that after Dream has face revealed that now his merch won't really sell or something, that
I think that was I think Sunny made a fair argument of why it could affect his merch sales.
Yeah.
Because
I
Dream is
agree.
no longer a smiley face, he is a real face.
Exactly.
I actually thought that was a good argument.
It's not a guarantee. Like, you can't
he
predict
will
the
be
future,
irrelevant
but
sooner or later.
it's
that
a
his
solid argument.
That he will be irrelevant. Did SunnyV2 say Dream would be irrelevant sooner or later?
I don't think so. I think he said
I don't
overall
remember
he
him
would get
saying
less viewership. Like, it will negatively affect his channel. Which
Is that a
actually
good
I think
argument?
is
It's still his
kind of
brand?
true.
I don't think it kills the brand by changing his image. Or, sorry, by showing his face. But I do think that it lowers it by a small amount. I don't think that, like, now that he has this, now that he did the face reveal, he's not going to be able to sell merch. I just think that the merch won't be as compelling because people have a real face to go with instead of just a smiley face.
Exactly.
Of course,
and it
people
makes
are going
sense.
to buy Dream's merch. People love Dream.
content is going to be modified for the worse, and that we won't get...
Wait a second. Another one?
Irrelevant sooner or later, that his content is going to be modified for the worse, and that we won't
Modified
get
for
any
the
more...
worse?
When his content is going to be modified for the worse.
What does that even mean?
So
I don't know.
the video, Sunny used the example that Dream had not uploaded after that. So there's really no evidence of it. And then the other example he had used is that the only thing that Dream had done is he did like a house video with like George Not Found. And then after that, he did a, I think it was like a fucking, like, what was it? It was like some camping video. And the sentiment there was that people were not really super huge fans of Dream. Does that make sense?
Maybe they weren't fans of that kind of content, which is fair because I think he's like a Minecraft creator, right? So if it's not related to Minecraft, why would his main fan base care?
Since face reveal, so we won't know. Well, you won't know for like 3 or 4 more years. Yeah, it's impossible to prove a negative, but like Sunny used a handful of specific examples. So you can't use ad absurdum on an argument just to hope that people listen to it, and then they don't actually assume and not actually refute any of the points that he made.
Yeah.
Ad absurdum. Well, ad absurdum is like whenever you take an argument like, oh, like this is just going to affect and hurt all of his content in the future. That's not what Sunny said. Like what this person is doing is they're extrapolating what Sunny said into a larger point that is more easily disproven and is seen as more ridiculous to make his actual evidence seem less important.
Bangers like Mask, like, okay. I seriously don't think Dream face revealing is that bad, and I really definitely don't think that
is that bad is not okay.
It's the worst mistake a content creator has ever made.
In a video,
I will agree with that.
Absolutely.
It was absolutely dramatized. The Dream face reveal is nowhere near the worst mistake a content creator has made.
It was kind of clickbaity. So.
You know, like what about the guy on the wheelchair and he accidentally got up and people found out that he wasn't in the wheelchair? Like, I think that one would be worse.
Zedine or something like that? I forget his name.
You know, Belle Delphine. Yeah, why are you defending Dream?
Yeah, Belle Delphine.
Because I think
really
this is what's true. I'm not defending Dream. I'm just defending what I think is true.
Titled The Problems with SunnyV2, Jalen would make an interesting critique to Sunny's upload schedule.
Now, as Sunny's channel has started to pick up, his upload schedule has become more frequent, and it seems as if he's just trying to get these videos out as fast as he possibly can, which is kind of counterintuitive to...
I like the Boogie video, not gonna lie.
I just, this is again, bro, like, oh my god. Oh my god. So his channel has gotten more popular, so he's making more videos.
It makes sense. Maybe he quit his job. Who's to say he didn't have a part-time job or something?
Evidence for this,
that he quit now that he's
with the evidence, there's
popular.
going to be no evidence of a deterioration of quality. Like, what is this?
To what his channel used to be.
This argument seems to be based...
What? What? Okay. Great. Well, that's
basically
super useful. Thank you.
Yeah, all you said was, I liked his older videos. I don't like the newer ones. That's really all you said.
So much for your insight. An ironic Boogie defender? I think that Sunny in his first couple of videos about Boogie, I think they were too mean-spirited and they seemed personal and negative, but I think Sunny's recent video about Boogie was more even-handed.
Oh, yeah. I would agree there. Because that's what I was talking about when I was talking about Boogie, is the most recent one is the one I actually thought was really well done.
I think Boogie is one of those people that the internet thinks is a horrible person, and I just think the truth is he's not Mr. Rogers of the internet.
Yeah, I think he's just a dude.
Based on the fact that SunnyV2 has recently been increasing his upload frequency at the expense of his video quality, but this is simply untrue. SunnyV2 has
okay, there we go.
been posting weekly videos for over a year now, and whilst it's arguable that the editing quality has slightly declined, it is certainly not a matter of producing content more frequently, and likely due to the fact that the story of the video should be the main focus, rather than the flashy visuals for the style of his content.
Yeah, sure.
But this still leaves us with the question of if SunnyV2 is faking his videos.
Right.
And the best example of this is not what you would expect.
Okay,
On the
let's see it.
31st of December 2021, SunnyV2 would publish a video titled The Tragic Tale of EDP 445, and the big puts
I don't
it
think I've
best.
seen this.
The issue is the only evidence that he's able to provide is for no caller ID calls on his iPhone, which isn't exactly rock solid evidence to say the least.
Right. So the evidence behind EDP 445 being in jail is two people saying that he's in jail, which beforehand, you even say that you can't really trust, that you have to take with a grain of salt.
We'll preface this part by stating that there have been numerous accounts of EDP being arrested, however they never seem to have any rock solid proof to go along with it, so take everything said in the next section with a grain of salt.
And in the video, you even disprove the evidence. Jesus Christ, so you don't even know if he's in jail. Why did you put finally in jail in the thumbnail? He's probably not even in jail.
They're right about this. They are.
Yeah.
They're right about this.
But the thing is,
Because
everyone
if
does
you want to, the thing is,
clickbait
if he
shit.
goes to jail, won't this be public record? People know everything about EDP. Couldn't they just look this up?
Pretty sure.
Fair point. It's clickbait. Yeah, it was a clickbait. It was a clickbait thumbnail.
Yeah.
Absolutely fair to criticize that. I remember I had the same thing happen to me whenever I made the whenever we uploaded the video of Sepulchre of the first ones, and the original title was I think it was like Blizzard's new WoW raid is so bad that Asmongold quits. And a lot of the people in the WoW community criticized me for that because they said, well, it's not really the raid's fault that your group fucking sucked. And it's like, I do think that Sepulchre sucked on release, but to be fair, how do I really know the raid is so bad if I only did 2 bosses? So it was like, it was partially true, but partially not true. And we changed the title to something that was a little bit more accurate. So this same thing happened to me. Yeah, it was a more of a clickbait title, and we changed it because people were...
Yeah, no one really likes being clickbaited. Unless, like, the content's, like, good enough to where it's like, okay, well, it wasn't what I thought it was, but it's still kind of funny or something like that. But most of the time it's not the case, which is where the annoyance comes from.
You know, annoyed by that. People defending Shadowlands, I think they were just, they were mad that they felt like I misrepresented the raid. I do think, however, it was really bad, because if it wasn't, it would have been nerfed 50 times.
Huge new update regarding EDP 445. It isn't actually a huge new update. It's nothing. EDP 445 isn't in jail. What's the point of this video?
Sunny's EDP 455 video was clickbait at best or misinformation at worst, but excluding these outliers.
I think misinformation is a bit extreme.
Yeah, because he says it in the video, so I don't think that's a correct summarization that you would get to that point where you think he's providing misinformation, because he says take it with a grain of salt.
I would classify, whenever I think misinformation is bad, is whenever it's harmful. Thinking this guy is in jail or not is not super harmful. But I do think that unless you have evidence of him being in prison, then you shouldn't have this in the title, or you shouldn't have this be the thumbnail.
Exactly.
100%. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Sure.
Video was clickbait at best or misinformation at worst. But excluding these outlier videos, it seems like SunnyV2 has been one of the most consistent content creators on the platform.
He has been.
And has in the grand
That's
scheme
why
of
people,
things had minimal
subscribe. That's why his channel's grown
controversies,
so much.
which is a feat for someone who could be considered under the commentary niche, where each creator is seemingly called out for something every second week. But the real question that we haven't answered here yet is if Unbox Therapy is buying views or not. Click the video on screen to find out more.
So there's a couple of things I want to talk about, and I think this is also a criticism
Is SunnyV2
and
faking?
concern about his channel as well. Is that, like, if you look at Internet Anarchist, and we'll pull up Sunny's channel as well.
They seem kind of similar. Gonna be straight up.
And then we're gonna watch something else. And I would like to I would like to distill this down into a simple question. Is this video negative and or at the expense of another person? Okay? Very
I would
simple
say yeah.
question, right? Yes, 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 yes. Running out of fingers. Yes, yes, yes.
Pretty much all of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 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 Wait, Forgotten Brother is black? No. This is a no. Sorry. The Real Story of Gideon, this is, I don't know what this one is because it's uncertain. So almost
The
all of
majority
these
are,
videos
yeah.
are made at the expense or of another person or have a negative tone to them in a way that is like, oh, this person is bad. Now let's look at Sunny's videos. Negative or at the expense of another person? I don't know. Yes. No. Yes. 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 Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Yes. No. The problem is that a lot of these videos, and this is a problem with commentary in general, is that a lot of people like talking about how certain content creators suck, and a lot less people like talking about how great certain content creators are.
That is very true. I mean, even the news, like, who was it? I forget which news channel was like they wanted to do more like positivity, but like it just wasn't getting views, so they just stopped.
And because of that, it provides a reward structure around creating content that's negative towards certain people.
Yep.
And when all you have is a hammer, a lot of people look like nails.
Exactly.
So whenever you create a profit incentive to create videos that are overwhelmingly negative, and the negative ones seem to garner a lot more attention.
Especially if they're negative on something that is big, like Pizza Hut, Joe Rogan, BuzzFeed. All these things are well-known things. None of them are like, what are you talking about? Who are you talking about?
Or at least that there's a lot more of them that you can make, rather than, oh, this is so great or that's so great. It would make sense that in creating these videos, you are projecting a lot of negativity. Now, is this a good or a bad thing? It's hard to say. But I do think that everybody should be aware of it. And that's the point that I'm making. Yeah, this all seems cannibalistic, yes. And I think that my channel is no different, by the way. Like, let's look at some of my, I think this is fair, right? Let's look at some of my content.
Like, I think it's fair, like, in general, like, across almost everything. Like, WoW videos that are negative against WoW usually do better than videos that are positive against WoW.
Let's see here. Is this negative? I would say overall, yes. New World Dead Game? I don't think so. I think this is maybe yes, maybe no.
The first one I would not say is a bad, like, a negative video. Because even his face isn't like, are you kidding me face? It's more like what is this?
Yes, this is a negative video, positive video, positive, negative, positive, negative, negative, kind of negative, negative, negative. Obviously, like, and look at these, right?
It's not as bad,
and a lot
though.
of these negative videos are extremely popular. Like the Andrew Tate video, 600,000 views. And it's hard to say because I cover like a very massive, like I cover a lot of different topics, right? Whether it's something like Andrew Tate,
yeah,
Hogwarts, a playthrough of a new game, classic era content, dating a VTuber, right? So there's a lot of different kinds of stuff that I do. So like,
it's all
I
over
don't
the
have
place.
As many negative videos. But if you look at the commentary videos that I have, I think the majority of them probably that get uploaded would be negative as well. So look at this one here, right? The Velma video, almost 800,000 views. Andrew Callahan, very negative. And Stadia, negative again. So negative videos do sell very well. And I think this is something that, again, this only paints half of the picture. Because I think the other half of the picture is that while negative videos sell really well, videos that reaffirm people's opinions sell even better. So, for example, let's see here. People really like Gordon Ramsay, so whenever he shits on people, you know, like some vegan teacher, everybody's going to love that. People don't like James Corden, and guess what? There's a negative video about James Corden. Unsolved cases, you know, people don't really like BuzzFeed, I guess. Maybe you could say that, but like not really. Let's see here if I can find like a couple more of them. And let's see if I can find it. Other successful videos. Or other positive videos. Entire history of Mr. Beast, right? And Mr. Beast is generally very well liked, so you're probably not going to see a lot of negative videos on Mr. Beast because he's generally well liked.
Yeah.
A good example of this is like look at World of Warcraft content pre-Dragonflight and look at Final Fantasy content. Because the community generally has a sentiment that Final Fantasy is good, Final Fantasy positive content does better, whereas with WoW, people have a general sentiment that the game is bad, so content about Final Fantasy doing bad is better. It's exactly why news shows are bad. Yeah. That's why I watch all those videos about Bloodborne is so good to justify my biases. Yeah, exactly. And that's the point that I'm making, is that most times people watch videos and they've already made up their mind that Epic
before watching it
sucks now.
Yeah.
They've already made up their mind that EDP should be in jail. They've already made up their mind that college humor they haven't cared about since 2012. They already cared that they don't care anymore that Smosh is a YouTube channel, even though they've been around since like 2000 and fucking like 1991. Smosh has been around, something like that. And I think actually they were like one of the first YouTube channels ever, first channel to hit 1 million subscribers, I believe. But people probably don't watch them anymore. So like, you hear this and you feel good about that. Fakest millionaire on TikTok. People love seeing people like this getting shit on. Island Boys. Bro, people hated the Island Boys. I actually got hate because I defended the Island Boys. I thought they were funny.
I wasn't a big fan of them, but
a lot of times people click these videos.
I don't really care, to be honest.
And they watch them because they already have their opinion made up, and they want to have, like, nobody's going to be making a video about how Amy Schumer is funny. It's not going to happen. Even if she was, it wouldn't happen. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, everyone knows Clara the cheater, exactly. So, am I making a good point here? And I also, is SunnyV2 faking videos?
I don't think so.
Mean,
some of them maybe,
example
yeah.
with this is an inaccurate title.
Like,
I mean, faking videos like that. This is one example. Like, and I do think this. By the way, I think this is like a complete slam dunk. He's totally wrong for having this thumbnail.
Oh yeah, like, but faking the video, I don't think he's faking it, though that was clickbaity. I don't consider faking videos and clickbaiting as like the same thing.
Right, 100%. But I think 90%
There's a reason why they didn't say clickbait instead of fake video.
Are extremely weak. They're either personal attacks or some attack on his authority or some extrapolation or something like that. This is like, most of these arguments are literal dog shit. So that's what I think. Yeah, there's the video right there.
Yeah,
I like. I've watched. I think
they don't hold
now
any water.
2 of Internet Anarchist videos. I really like his videos. To be
when
fair.
you actually like
I do.
examine
I do
it,
think
it's
this
just
one
like
kind of
okay.
misses the mark because there's not enough examples.
You're
of
not even
actually
making sense.
Faking videos, and also like, is he trying to mislead people with the videos, or is it just like a bad thumbnail? I don't know. Yeah, we need more evidence. The videos are definitely real. They exist. You can't really say they're fake. Videos, it depends, right? Negative videos are like super old pistols. Yes, it can fire and hit its target, but there's always a chance it'll blow up in your face instead. Oh, that's interesting. I like that. That's clever. It seems like greedy thumbnails. Yeah. And like, we've had bad thumbnails too. You know, like, we've been called out for this, etc. So, like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can find like a handful of these that probably shouldn't be titled this, or, you know, it's like a little bit inaccurate. So I'm not going to go and be like, oh my God, you know, this guy is so bad for having a thumbnail that's inaccurate. We've done this. Other people have done this. Like, almost every commentary creator has made a thumbnail that's not 100% accurate, or a title that is an exaggeration.
That's true.
And if you want to criticize that and say all of it's bad, totally fine. But I don't think this is a unique Sunny thing. I think it's something that, as I said, he does, I do, and even the video's content creator, Internet Anarchist, does.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my point.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I've seen some of Internet Anarchist's videos, and he reminds me of Sunny. So like, that felt weird to me that like he's going after him, because I'm like, you guys are like in the same vein, and a lot of your work is very similar in terms of tone and how like it gets done. Obviously, I'm not gonna say they're one-to-one, but at least from a viewer's point, it didn't really seem like a big difference.